Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world-famous studio tour. I know what you're thinking. Why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we'll pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Thanks, Jimmy. We'll see him a little bit later. He'll pop up again. There's a good photo opportunity on the right side of the tram, just past the escalator. There is Super Nintendo World. So if you haven't had a chance yet to go through the land, you can see what it looks like coming down the hill. And on the other side of the tram, or on the right, left side, I'm facing a different way than you guys. There's a lot of construction going on. This is for a new roller coaster. This is going to be Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. That opens tomorrow. No, it doesn't. 2026, so a little under 2 years away. We're going to be riding around about 400 acres of our studio, and the tour usually runs about 50 minutes, usually a little under an hour. Not everything on the tour is fake. Not everything is a movie set. This is a real fire station that we're driving by. Station 51 was named after the fire station in our 1970 show Emergency. So this fire station was built after the show. Our studio started back in 1915, and on March 15th, 1915, our founder Carl Laemmle first invited the public into the studio to watch silent movies being filmed. But then with the invention of sounds for film, they needed quiet on the set, and the original tour ended. And it wasn't until the 1960s, under the leadership of Chairman Lou Wasserman and executives Al Dorskin and Jay Stein, they brought the studio tour back on July 15th, 1964. And today we continue 60 years of bringing guests around the studio to show where we do our productions. The first sound stage that we passed by on the left, stage 12, this is both the oldest and the largest stage that we have on the lot. If you look on the front door, you can see one of the first movies that filmed in that stage, Frankenstein, which was released back in 1931. That stage is where they built the laboratory where Frankenstein created the monster. And the same year, Dracula filmed in that stage. All of these movies filmed in that stage. Some of the soundstage doors are open on the left side of the tram. These first 3 stages are used for Hacks, which is an HBO series, just won the Emmy this year for Best Comedy with Gene Smart, Hannah Anbinder. And then the last 2 stages on the left, 8 and 7, are used for our Peacock series Bel Air. Bel Air isn't filming today. Their show's on hiatus right now. They're breaking between seasons, so the actors and actresses aren't here, but they've got crew inside the stage getting the sets ready because the show returns soon to start filming season 4. And I've got 2 of the stars of Bel Air, Jabari Banks and Ollie Charlatan, to welcome us to this part of the studio.
We're leaving the theme park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment the script demands.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel Air.
When we film Bel Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who
or what
you'll see on the studio tour.
Bel Air also uses Soundstage 14. It's a big stage off to the left. I don't have to worry about this for Bel Air today because I know they're not filming, but we are going to be driving by some stages where they are doing shows like Lopez versus Lopez and The Voice, Happy's Place, Reba McEntire's new series. So when we're driving around the stages, I have to keep looking around because right above every soundstage entrance door or next to the door, there's like a red jar light. And if we drive by any soundstage and that light is on, cameras are rolling in that stage, I have to turn off all the sound on the tram. They don't like to hear my voice over the speakers while they're filming. So if I stop talking suddenly, it's because I see one of the production lights on. The stages that we're passing by now are used for our mystery comedy series called Based on a True Story. That streams on Peacock with Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. For the children on the tram, they're probably going to recognize the statues. They are minions, but what are their names? Anyone know? Bob and Stuart. And Bob and Stuart just starred in Despicable Me 4. This is a film that we produced with Illumination Entertainment. We do a lot of animated family films with them. Super Mario Brothers movies, Secret Life of Pets. What were you just pointing at? Ted. Oh, Ted, that's another one of our family films. Talking bear. The reason we have the Ted statue over here, we do a TED TV series on the lot. They're not filming today, but they're shooting inside of our stages. I'm going to tell you more about that show later because we're going to be driving by some of the sets that they've been using for the show. It's produced by UCP, which is Universal Content Productions. On the left side of the tram, all of these bungalows that we're passing by, these are the offices for the producers and the directors and the writers. Kevin Williamson wrote the movie Scream, and he produces the Scream franchise, and he's got this first office behind the white fence. His production company is Outer Banks Productions. Next month, actually a month from tomorrow, we're releasing part 1 of Wicked. And Mark Platt produces the play, and he's producing the movie. His office is down the driveway on the left. At the end of the driveway, there's an MP sign and a Wicked balloon. That's the producer of Wicked. One of the most famous directors of all time, master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, director of Psycho and Vertigo. He used to work out of 5195, and that profile of Hitchcock painted on the wall was designed by Hitchcock. He designed his own logo. Lopez versus Lopez is working inside Soundstage 25 right now with George Lopez and his daughter Mayan. They just had their season 3 premiere last Friday night on NBC, and we've got a new NBC comedy, hasn't started airing yet, called St. Denis Medical. It's with David Alan Grier and Wendy McClendon Covey. That's going to be on NBC next month, and that new series films in the last soundstage on the corner of the left side of the tram, underneath the Gilded Age poster. The light, actually, it's not on right now. That's the sun shining. If it was on, it would be spinning around. But thank you for no, that's okay. People do point that out. I'm going to talk about the sets off to the left a little bit later. I'm not ignoring these sets. Right now, I want to focus on this building on the right side of the tram because this is the entrance to Skull Island. It's where King Kong lives. And the director of King Kong, Peter Jackson, is going to tell you what you should expect to see when we get inside.
The Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island.
Oh. I know a lot of people on the tram, this is going to be their first trip to Skull Island, and the roads get a little bouncy, so hold on to your belongings, remain seated at all times, and put on your 3D glasses. We're driving through Skull Island.
The island. Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. I'm so sure.
for King Kong! Oh, he saved us. Thank you, King Kong. That was unexpected. Yay! When we leave the building, you should take off the 3D glasses that some of you have been wearing for the whole tour. Don't lose the glasses. Hold on to those. You're going to want them later for another special effect. This attraction was designed by Peter Jackson, who directed our 2005 version of the film, and the special effects company Weta Effects. They're a company in New Zealand. The sets, off to the left side of the tram, these are our Metropolitan sets, and this is the beginning of the backlot. This is where we go for the rest of the tour, past the sets that are too big to fit inside the sound stages. We call the area directly in front of us New York Street, but we can dress up New York Street to be different cities, different states, different time periods. Good example, using this part of our backlot for different time periods, this is where we've been filming the TV show Ted, which supposedly takes place in the 90s because the TV show is a prequel to the two films. So it takes place when John Bennett's character, he was played by Mark Wahlberg in the film, when he's a teenager, and it takes place in Boston. And they've been using our backlot sets as Boston. Seth MacFarlane, who co-wrote and directed the two films, is very much involved with the show. He directed every episode of season 1. They're working on season 2 now. He's the voice of Ted, and he wants to tell you about the show that films out here.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at my Peacock original event series, Ted. It's a prequel series set in 1993. And that means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, Ted is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch. Oh, come on!
Along with Ted, we also use these backlot sets for Bel Air and American Ninja Warrior. They'll frequently build obstacle courses out here on our Metro sets. On the right side of the tram, we've got our monster mural painted by Tristan Eaton, and this celebrates over 100 years of monster movies that have filmed on our backlot, going back to 1923 with the original silent version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Lon Chaney, and then in the 1930s and 40s they'd use those same sets for Frankenstein and Dracula. We're going to drive through those sets in a moment, but before we get there, we drive past the stages where we filmed The Voice. There's a very recognizable V painted under stage 30. The show uses both stages 30 and 31. They're doing season 27 right now. They're doing the playoffs. And our 4 voice coaches are Reba McEntire, Gwen Stefani, Michael Bublé, and Snoop Dogg.
Hey, Studio Tour. It's your boy Snoop Dogg. Did you know that the Universal Backlot is home of The Voice? That's right. We tape right here on Stage 31. Don't miss our incredible new season every Monday and Tuesday on NBC. Hello. Now that you've heard the rest, you can hear the best. We can be with the S and have this on your chest.
Snoop joins The Voice Monday and Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Reba McEntire, another one of the voice coaches this season. She also films her new show here, Reba, and that had its premiere last Friday night on NBC. Ted Danson has a new show that films on the lot. It's called A Man on the Inside. That's going to be streaming on Netflix next month. And Ted Danson had worked on several shows here on the lot. CSI, Mr. Mayor, and The Good Place filmed here for 4 years. Whenever you saw the main characters on The Good Place walk around outside, they filmed over here on the right side of the tram in Little Europe. And these are some of the scenes from The Good Place that shot here.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm going to pause this for a second. Here's a scene from the very first episode of the show. They're eating at a place called Yogurt. That set is currently directly in front of the tram. It's got the 2 blue doors. Up on the monitors, this is where they film this.
I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
The sets that we use for that comedy series are the same sets from Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Invisible Man. The courtyard on the right, that's where we would shoot the scenes in all those movies where the big mob of angry villagers would gather with the torches. At this point, we are a little past the halfway mark of the tour. We've got maybe 20, 25 minutes left. And whenever we get to this area, we always give everybody a reminder to remain seated throughout the tram ride. And if you have an emergency or you've dropped something over the side of the tram, can't wait to the end of the tour to use the restroom, please pull that red cord above you and remain seated. I'll come back, I'll see what you need assistance with when it's safe for us to do it. They're not filming today inside Soundstage 50, so they're giving us permission to drive the tram through to show you the set. As of right now, they haven't told us what the production is, so we're not sure if it's a movie or a television show, but they've got it dressed up to look like a subway station. It's not in 3D, even though we're going into a building. You don't have to put on the 3D glasses. There's a production schedule on the chalkboard on the left, ticket machine heist, so they're going to be shooting part of a heist inside the stage. And this is currently what's called a hot set. A hot set means all of the equipment is placed where they want it to be for the shot. So right now they don't want any crew members to move anything. If they move something, it's possible they could ruin one of the shots that's been set up. We want to stop for a moment, give you time to get some pictures before we head back outside. Oh, wait, hold on. That's an earthquake! Hold on! That's why my seat has a window. That's a perk. That's not fair. That attraction was built 35 years ago. That opened in 1989, and when they were building the attraction in the late 80s, they had based it on one of our hit films from the 70s, Earthquake, with Charlton Heston, and next month that movie turns 50 years old. Came out in November 1974. Next year, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Now that came out in the summer, 1975. There's a billboard on the monitors, Amity Island welcomes you, and you'll be able to see that billboard on the left side of the tram. I had mentioned before the tram left that Jaws is closed for refurbishment. We're about to drive by over on the right, and there's the shark. So you can still get a picture of the shark. Who better to tell you about this attraction than the movie's director, Steven Spielberg?
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
The shark that's sticking out of the water right there is not the same shark that Steven Spielberg used in the movie. Our shark works better than his. When they were filming, they built several mechanical sharks. None of them would work. All of them kept breaking and malfunctioning. For the next special effect we're going to encounter, I'm going to bring up today's show co-host and weather anchor, Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the backlot with a 100% chance of rain.
Oh.
The flash flood.
This is a very simple weather effect. We have sprinklers hidden in the trees. We can create rain on the set whenever we need it. The problem with this special effect, our set is built on a hill, and over the course of the day, a lot of the water builds at the top of the hill, and at one point it overflows, and then all the water rushes down. It creates a flood. There's been a couple times the flood has hit one of the trams just as we're driving through. This morning, we are that tram. Be careful if you're on the left side. There's a flood coming. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Now I'll show you this special effect in a scene from a movie. Up on the monitors, this is from the family comedy Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that. Hang on, funny folks!
The flash flood special effect is part of our Mexican Village set, and in the 1980s, this part of the backlot was used for Three Amigos. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chevy Chase. Nacho Libre with Jack Black, also filmed out here. That is a Paramount film. And then when we leave the Mexican Village, we cross the border into the Old West. And both the Mexican Village and the Old West sets, about a week and a half ago, they were filming a car commercial out here. So these sets are still used for productions. This is where we used to do the movies with cowboys like John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart, Kirk Douglas, and Clint Eastwood.
Maybe you're just gonna stir things up here. That I am.
How dare you hit that man?
Mine hit the ground first. Mine was taller.
Universal isn't the only company that does movies on our backlot, because any studio can rent our sound stages or our backlot sets. So if another company is doing a production, we've got some sets on the backlot that match what they need. They rent out sections of our backlot. So Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, they've all done films here. This happened about 5 years ago. Sony was doing a movie on our backlot, and when they were filming, our trams are driving by, and they said, don't say what the name of the movie is. Don't say who's starring in the film. Don't say who's directing the film. We're like, okay. So we knew what it was, but we couldn't tell anybody on the tram. It didn't really bother the people on the tram that we couldn't say what it was. They were shooting some scenes right over here on the right where these crates are. They were using the western town as well. They had people dressed up as cowboys and they're riding horses past the tram. And they were filming out here for about 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, there was not one guest on any tour that recognized Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt or Quentin Tarantino. They were shooting Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And they were shooting scenes where Leonardo DiCaprio's character is an actor in the film, and he's working on a Western TV show. And they shot the Western scenes out in that part of the backlot. And Quentin Tarantino said, keep it a secret. Don't see what we're doing. We're going to be driving past the Jaws attraction again, but this time we're going to take another path to another section of the backlot. And this time when we drive by, look behind the hanging shark in front of the hotel. There's a set that says Cabot Cove on the roof. For 12 years, that part of the backlot was Cabot Cove, Maine on Murder, She Wrote. Every week in the opening credits, Angela Lansbury's character Jessica Fletcher would ride her bike and walk in front of those sets. Look up at the monitors. That's Jaws behind her. Over 12 years of Murder, She Wrote, a lot of murders took place, but probably not as many as in the house on the right side of the tram, because that house was used in the horror movie House of 1,000 Corpses. Written and directed by Rob Zombie, the house was originally built for the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. There's a whole neighborhood of houses off to the left side of the tram. We currently use that street, Colonial Street, for the TV show Ted, so they're getting that area prepared right now. For 8 years, Colonial Street was Wisteria Lane on the ABC Touchstone series Desperate Housewives. There are some Lion Estate statues off to the left side of the tram. Hold on, I've got it here. On your left, replicas of the signs from the Lion Estates, Marty McFly's neighborhood in Back to the Future, and today is Back to the Future Day. It's on this day, October 21st, 1985, that Doc Brown first demonstrated time travel to Marty. Fans of the film plan to come back this coming April for Universal Fan Fest nights. It's all new after-hours event that will immerse you in the world of the best of fantasy, gaming, anime, cosplay, and sci-fi, including Back to the Future. To find out more, visit universalstudioshollywood.com. That is the only part of the tour I did not memorize because they gave this to me 10 minutes before I got on the tram. So I have read that. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this area. I'm going to start on the left side of the tram. We've got some picture cars. We've got some famous vehicles from productions. We've got one of the original glamour trams, and next to it, a gyrosphere from Jurassic World, a Jeep from Jurassic Park, prehistoric cars from the Flintstones, Dominic Toretto's car from the Fast and Furious films, a Bumblebee from Transformers, and on the other side of the tram, many of these sets were recently built for Halloween Horror Nights. And this is something we do every Wednesday through Sunday night up until Halloween. This area is part of the Terror Tram, Enter the Blumhouse, where at night we've got scary characters from the Blumhouse films. Black Phone, Megan, Happy Death Day, The Purge, and some of those characters are currently hanging out right in front of us, in front of our official scale model of the Hollywood sign. They had built these sets for Halloween Horror Nights right in front of the Bates Motel from Psycho. The Bates Motel is run by Norman Bates, and he lives in that creepy house at the top of the hill, and he's known to go mad sometimes.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
That's true, I suppose. Norman doesn't live alone. He lives with his mother. And Mrs. Bates is usually pretty nice. She likes to watch the trams drive by. So we're going to be driving right past the house, and Mrs. Bates normally sits in a chair, and she stares out of her bedroom window from the second floor as she watches us pass. Norman does not like when trams drive by his house, and he's standing out on the front porch. Norman! Are you excited about Halloween Horror Nights Wednesday night right in front of your motel? Norman, put the knife away. Not until Wednesday, Norman. Don't walk towards the Hey, Norman Bates. Don't stab those people. Look what he did to the airplane. That's a sharp knife. An airplane crashed behind the Psycho house. Norman Bates didn't do this. Aliens did this. This is a set that was built for Paramount's War of the Worlds.
An airplane crashed
West Side set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, now, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
That was a real plane. When they're making the movie, they got a full 747, ripped it apart. We're going to be driving through one more movie set and one more special effect, then head back to the theme park. So we're almost home, but for the next few moments, we're still riding around on private property. So if you have any emergency, please don't jump off the tram, pull that red cord above you, and remain seated. This last movie set we're going to drive through is Jupiter's Claim. This is a town that was built for the suspense film Nope, written and directed by Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, I do. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience, built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of No.
We just stop here just for a moment, just give me time to get some pictures before we move on. Hey everybody, while we were stopped, I was getting a call from our security department. This doesn't happen very often. I'm gonna be right back. I'm sorry, security, go ahead.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened?
You're cut now.
This is a secure line. Who are you?
Oh.
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in just whenever you feel like.
Mute him.
All right.
Don't you?
Bye.
That's better. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. I'm taking care of business. Hobbs out.
Agent Hobbs just rerouted our tram into this building to hide from Owen Shaw, but he didn't leave us here alone. He has family that are gonna help us out.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
All right, they want us to move a little farther into the building. There's no need to put on your 3D glasses right now. We're just gonna hide until it's safe to go back outside. This works out in our favor because there's a party going on in the building. I'm gonna be back a little bit later. I am required to get off the tram to join them. No. Why are you breaking up the party? We just got here. Everyone's leaving? What are we supposed to be doing?
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Damn.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got you. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of tonight.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Try to move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting.
My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna go catch up with them, so now is a good time to put the 3D glasses on. Get ready. According to what Dom just said, Owen Shaw's getting pretty close to finding us in here.
This is our turn. After them. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Come to the left. This thing ain't going fast enough. Roman, Letty, hook him up.
Hit it! I got to move my horn!
Now we're moving.
Let's hear it for Fast and Furious Supercharged! Hey, Agent Hobbs, how did we do?
Hell of a job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know, it's crazy out there. You guys ride hard. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You got guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Thanks, now we're part of their family. Now we're heading back to the theme park, and you can continue your movie making experience by going on rides that are based on hit movies and television shows. As we head back one final time, I'll turn things over to Jimmy Fallon.
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you had a great time today, and on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
Thank you, Jimmy Fallon. I also want to thank all of you for celebrating 60 years of the studio tour with us, and I want to thank our annual pass holders for coming back and joining us today. And if you're not a pass holder and you'd like to be one, stop by the Universal box office, find out how you can upgrade today's ticket into an annual pass. It lets you come back and join us again and again. If you haven't done it yet, while you're here today, we do recommend that you download the Universal Studios Hollywood app, which is going to give you information on today's park hours, wait times for the rides, the show times for Waterworld, mobile food ordering. And if you want to purchase any of the NBC Universal movies or shows I've talked about on the tour, visit the website uphe.com or ask at any of our retail stores. On behalf of our driver Tim and myself Paul and all of us at Universal Studios Hollywood, we hope you've enjoyed our exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. Thanks, everybody. We're gonna stay open until 7 o'clock tonight. Have a good time. As they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. I had so much fun. I'm gonna go do it again. We do recycle the 3D glasses. We're gonna open up the gates on the left. There are bins right next to the tram. Please drop the glasses.